Hey everybody, welcome back. This is, I guess you could call this the roving mobile studio for the sprue. I'm a long haul truck driver, so this is the bunk of my truck. I'm done for the day. So I thought I would jump on here and try to do an answer to a community question that I first heard it from Jason over at Blue Ox Model Shop, but it was originally posed by JT at I Need My Garage Time. And the question was, which make of vehicle do you purchase the most of, rather than, like, say, the kit manufacturer? Well, I'm a very big proponent of ScaleMates. I love digging around through ScaleMates, and I'm also a contributor to ScaleMates, and I just the way that my brain works is that I love making lists and going over numbers and stuff like that. So I was going through ScaleMates, and I had thought that it would allow me to just go through and spit these numbers out and find out what all I have in my stash, but it will give me how many kits of each kit manufacturer that I have, but then I can search by keywords, and I can split out by, AMC, BMW, Buick, that kind of thing. And so then I first originally had all of that compiled, but then I realized that the way that ScaleMates makes their list and shows you, it's only for unique entries. So if you have multiples of a particular issue of a kit in your stash, then it'll just say that you only have one of them. An egregious example in my case is the recently reissued AMT Wild Hoss 1978 Ford Bronco. Without getting into too much down that particular rabbit hole, I have a dozen of them. But in ScaleMates, it only shows up as one. So I had to go back through and update the numbers to reflect how many actual kits that I have and how many duplicates I have in various manufacturers. Now, for the sake of this experiment, or to answer long-windedly this question, I only counted the items in my stash that are 124th, 125th, 132nd, 135th, and 172nd. I took out anything that is anything other than those scales, because I have a bunch of sci-fi models and they have some wacky scales that would skew these numbers a little bit. So to go through my top 10, and it's very top heavy, my top 10 auto manufacturer brands that I have in my stash, 32% of it is Ford, 23.35% is Chevrolet, 8.75% is Dodge, 4.15% is Pontiac, Plymouth is 3.61%, GMC is 1.89%, Porsche is 1.8%, Oldsmobile and Jeep are tied for the number 8 spot at 1.62%, Toyota comes in at the 9th spot with 1.44%, and then all the various trailer kits that I have, because I grouped them all together because I have a bunch of utility trailers, car trailers, and then trailers for the big rigs. So there's a bunch of box fans, reefers, auto transporters, and all that kind of stuff. That comes into the 10th spot of, I guess I grouped them all as one manufacturer. I mean, even though they're all different manufacturers, but that comes at 1.35%. So now moving over to what my top 10 kit manufacturers are. Coming in the number 1 spot is AMT Ertl. So that's all of the releases from AMT and the AMT Ertl years, and then AMT again after or it'll stop being a brand. So that's all of them all grouped in together. And that gives me 34.3% of my stash is from AMT. Revell comes in number 2 at 27.65%, and then it just drops right off. Monogram, 7.26%. MPC, 7.17%. Salvino's JR, 4.81%. Mobius, 4.2%. Lindbergh, 2.54%. Italeri, 2.1%. Polar Lights, 1.66%. And Fujimi rounding up in the number 10 spot at 1.57%. So I thought that was kind of interesting, and maybe you guys would want to go through what you have and see what you got. Does it surprise you? Does it not surprise you? Like, I mean, for me, 32% Ford, that makes sense. I grew up in a Ford family my entire life. And then AMT having the top spot, it's kind of surprising, but I guess most of the subject matters that I'm interested in tends to be a lot skewed more towards the AMT side of things. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing too overly surprising in that breakdown, but let's see what all the rest of you guys got. Thanks.